Why do so many women reject the very man everyone says they should want? You work hard, treat her with respect, stay loyal, and put her first. Yet she loses interest while chasing men who challenge her. The reality is that being a kind and decent man, by itself, is not enough to create attraction. Some behaviors that seem caring can actually make you appear overly available, easy to ignore, or lacking in confidence. Respect and desire are not built on kindness alone. In this video, you will discover 7 reasons why women do not want a good man. Once you understand these realities, you will stop making the terrible mistakes that push women away and begin seeing relationships through a totally different lens. Stay with me until the end, because the final reason highlights a lesson many men only realize after they have already experienced heartbreak. Comment below, I choose clarity. Number 1, she wants a challenge. Many men believe that being endlessly supportive, dependable, and available will naturally make them more attractive. They reply to every message immediately, rearrange their schedules to accommodate her, avoid conflict, and constantly try to prove their devotion. Surprisingly, this often has the opposite effect. Instead of becoming more interested, she gradually invests less. Her enthusiasm fades, conversations become shorter, and you begin wondering where everything went wrong. That uncertainty usually leads to an even bigger mistake: you try harder. Unfortunately, increasing your effort without maintaining your own identity rarely changes the outcome. Attraction is not created by sacrificing yourself at every opportunity. It grows when a woman sees a man with direction, confidence, and a fulfilling life that doesn't revolve around gaining her approval. When your happiness depends entirely on keeping her satisfied, you unintentionally communicate that your own goals and values are secondary. Over time, this affects your confidence, your communication, and the way you respond to every shift in her behavior. Instead of focusing on your own journey, you begin following hers. You constantly check your phone, overanalyze simple interactions, and allow your emotional balance to depend on her responses. This is often where the relationship begins to lose its foundation. The solution is not becoming distant or treating her bad. It is developing genuine self-confidence and emotional stability. Create goals that exist independently of any relationship. Invest in your career, take care of your physical health, strengthen your mindset, and value your time. Practice saying no when necessary without feeling guilty. Learn to disagree respectfully without becoming defensive. Walk away from situations that require you to compromise your principles. A man with self-respect doesn't need to convince others of his worth. His consistency, confidence, and actions communicate it naturally. He remains calm under pressure, patient during setbacks, and emotionally steady when challenges arise. Most importantly, he doesn't seek constant validation because he already knows who he is and what he stands for. Number 2, she gets bored with nice guys. There is a major difference between being truly kind and constantly trying to keep everyone happy. At first glance, those behaviors may look the same, but over time they produce very different outcomes. Genuine kindness comes from confidence and inner security. People-pleasing, on the other hand, is usually driven by fear of rejection, conflict, or disappointing someone else. When every conversation is filtered through the desire to avoid upsetting others, you begin to lose your own voice. If your opinions change whenever someone disagrees, or your decisions are made solely to satisfy another person, you gradually stop living according to your own values. Instead of expressing your real thoughts, you hide them to preserve the relationship. You tolerate behavior that violates your principles because you're afraid that standing up for yourself might push someone away. Eventually, you're left carrying the emotional burden of everyone else's happiness while neglecting your own well-being. Relationships cannot thrive under those conditions. Mutual respect is built on honesty, not endless compliance. If you never challenge unfair treatment, communicate your expectations, or defend your boundaries, you unintentionally teach people that your needs are always less important. After enough time, this pattern feels normal, even though breaking it may feel uncomfortable. Yet that discomfort is often the first step toward real personal growth. Speak honestly instead of carefully calculating every word. Share your thoughts without trying to manage everyone's reactions. Value your time as much as you value your money, and build a fulfilling life through meaningful friendships, career goals, physical health, learning, and a clear sense of purpose. As your life becomes richer, your mindset changes. You stop acting from fear of losing someone and begin acting from confidence in who you are. You no longer rely on constant reassurance because your security comes from within. You understand that the right partner values honesty, consistency, and self-respect far more than endless self-sacrifice. That realization reshapes your entire outlook. You become calmer because you stop obsessing over outcomes you cannot control. You become stronger by focusing on your own actions instead of someone else's behavior. Number 3, she tests your strength. Every relationship eventually reaches moments that test your patience, judgment, and emotional discipline. There may be times when she questions your choices, reacts unpredictably, or pushes back simply to see how you handle pressure. The mistake many men make is believing every disagreement needs an immediate solution or every emotional situation deserves an emotional reaction. If you respond to every mood swing, argue over every small issue, or become defensive whenever you're challenged, you surrender your emotional stability. Instead of leading your own life, you become consumed with managing the relationship, creating stress instead of confidence. Real strength isn't about dominating arguments, raising your voice, or proving you're always right. It's about remaining composed when emotions run high, listening without losing your balance, and refusing to make important decisions while frustrated. A grounded man understands that not every remark deserves a response and not every disagreement requires a battle. He takes a moment before speaking, thinks before acting, and never allows temporary emotions to dictate permanent decisions. That level of self-control protects his peace instead of sacrificing it for short-term approval, and it becomes one of the strongest qualities he can develop. Number 4, she loses respect when you always agree. Getting along is important, but always agreeing is not the same as earning respect. If you continually suppress your opinions to avoid tension, you unintentionally teach others that your perspective carries little value. At first, it may seem like you're preserving harmony, but over time you become someone who avoids difficult conversations, hides disappointment, and accepts situations that conflict with your principles. Eventually, the relationship revolves around one person's comfort while the other quietly sacrifices their own needs. That isn't a healthy balance. Strong relationships require honesty, even when honest conversations feel uncomfortable. Speaking your mind respectfully is very different from creating unnecessary conflict. It means expressing your beliefs without trying to control someone else's reaction. It also means saying no when your boundaries are crossed instead of automatically saying yes just to keep the peace. Protecting your standards, even when it's difficult, builds lasting confidence because every decision reinforces your trust in yourself. You begin to see disagreements as a normal part of two independent people sharing a relationship rather than something to fear. That perspective removes enormous pressure because you no longer believe your job is to keep everyone happy. Your responsibility is simply to remain honest, respectful, disciplined, and consistent. Everything beyond that is outside your control. Once you accept this, your conversations become more relaxed, your decisions become more confident, and your relationships become healthier. Stop apologizing for having standards. Stop reshaping your identity to satisfy someone else's expectations, and stop measuring your value by whether everyone approves of you. Instead, build your confidence on integrity. When your direction comes from your own principles, disagreement no longer shakes your foundation. That quiet inner certainty becomes one of your greatest strengths. It allows you to love without losing yourself, give without building resentment, and care deeply while still protecting your own peace. Number 5, she is attracted to a man who has his own life. One of the greatest mistakes a man can make is allowing a relationship to become the center of his entire existence while everything else slowly falls apart. At first, it may seem like devotion, but eventually it turns into emotional dependence. Your routine begins revolving around her schedule. Your emotions rise and fall depending on how much attention she gives you. Meanwhile, your goals, passions, and ambitions quietly take a back seat because preserving the relationship becomes your main focus. That kind of pressure is unhealthy for both people. A strong relationship should enhance your life, not become your entire identity. The strongest position a man can have is knowing that his purpose, career, friendships, health, discipline, and future continue moving forward whether he is in a relationship or not. This has nothing to do with playing mind games or making someone jealous. It is about creating a meaningful life that naturally gives you choices. Real options begin with character, not popularity. You have options when you are willing to leave situations that violate your values. You have options when your happiness is not tied to someone else's approval. You have options when you continue pursuing your career instead of abandoning your dreams for short-term comfort. You have options when you prioritize your physical and mental well-being instead of neglecting yourself to earn affection. Adopting this mindset removes desperation from your behavior. Rather than trying to control outcomes beyond your reach, you focus on what truly belongs to you, your decisions, your habits, and your response to life's challenges. That quiet confidence becomes obvious without needing to announce it. You communicate more thoughtfully, remain patient under pressure, and make decisions from confidence instead of fear. If someone begins to pull away, you do not lose yourself trying to chase them. Instead, you continue building your life because your direction is not determined by another person's changing emotions. Ironically, this is when relationships often become stronger. You no longer expect someone else to provide your confidence because you have taken responsibility for building it yourself. Each day becomes another opportunity to improve your skills, strengthen your discipline, and honor the commitments you make to yourself. As you consistently grow, your standards naturally increase. You become more selective about who earns a place in your life because you understand that your time and attention are valuable. Instead of wondering whether someone will choose you, you begin asking whether that relationship supports the future you are creating. Number 6, she notices confidence and status. Confidence influences the way you carry yourself before you ever speak. It is not created by expensive clothes, luxury cars, or trying to prove you are better than everyone else. Genuine confidence comes from self-respect, clear values, and the courage to live by them. Many men believe they can create attraction by trying harder. They give more, explain more, apologize more, and slowly place a woman's opinion above their own. In doing so, they quietly weaken their confidence because every decision becomes dependent on whether she approves of them. The moment your emotional peace depends on someone else's response, you surrender control over your own happiness. Your first responsibility is not convincing anyone to value you. It is becoming a man whose value is reflected in the way he lives every day. Develop your abilities until your work speaks for itself. Keep your promises, even when nobody is watching. Stay disciplined after motivation fades. Take care of your body because physical strength supports mental resilience. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth instead of making excuses. Every one of these habits reinforces your confidence because they prove you can depend on yourself. When you trust yourself, you speak more calmly, make better decisions, and carry yourself with greater strength. You stop seeking validation because your focus shifts toward becoming someone you genuinely admire. That transformation improves every relationship. Rather than asking how to earn someone's attention, you begin asking whether they bring honesty, loyalty, encouragement, and respect into your life. As your self-respect grows, your standards rise with it. If someone is attracted only to money, appearance, or social status, you no longer feel the need to compete. You recognize that lasting relationships require far more than outward success. They are built on character, consistency, trust, and emotional maturity. Those qualities cannot be purchased or imitated forever. They are earned through daily discipline and unwavering integrity. Understanding this frees you from constant comparison. There will always be someone wealthier, taller, stronger, or more accomplished. But no one else can fulfill your purpose. Your only real competition is the man you were yesterday. Every hour you invest in learning, improving your skills, managing your finances wisely, strengthening your body, and developing emotional discipline creates value that can never be taken away. Number 7. She is drawn to a man living with purpose. One of your greatest strengths is refusing to become the person you think someone else wants. The moment you build your identity around gaining approval, you lose sight of your own path. Your value becomes tied to text messages, compliments, attention, or whether your relationship is going well. As a result, every shift in another person's behavior begins controlling your emotions. Living that way is exhausting because your peace depends on something outside your control. The solution is not becoming cold or pretending you do not care. The answer is building a life that remains fulfilling with or without a relationship. Wake up with goals that belong to you. Learn valuable skills. Take pride in your work. Train your body because discipline strengthens both your health and your mind. Read regularly, continue learning, manage your money wisely, and become someone others can depend on. These habits create confidence that temporary disappointments cannot destroy. As your life becomes more meaningful, your relationships naturally improve because you stop expecting someone else to fill the gaps you have ignored within yourself. You bring stability instead of insecurity, purpose instead of confusion, and consistency instead of emotional extremes. That changes the conversations you have, the standards you uphold, and the people you choose to keep close. You stop chasing attention and begin protecting your time. Instead of trying to convince someone of your worth, you ask whether they deserve a place in the future you are building. This shift changes everything because your confidence no longer depends on being chosen by someone else. It comes from choosing yourself through your daily actions. Some people will appreciate your character, while others will not. That is beyond your control. What remains within your control are your choices, your discipline, your integrity, and the standards you refuse to compromise. Once you embrace that truth, rejection loses its ability to define you. Every setback becomes an opportunity to improve rather than a reason to become bitter. Every obstacle becomes another lesson that helps you grow into a stronger, wiser, and more disciplined man.